Becoming a Business Leader Part 2. This is Demola Awoyele sharing this platform with you on Leaders Arise. At the last episode of this life-changing broadcast, I began a mini-series I call it, on becoming a business leader. This is in furtherance of our teaching series on do business. And last episode, I explained to you what it means to be a business leader in the context of our discussion. I remember I said it means to be ahead in business, to be a leader in business. You are leading, you are not at the back. You are not lost in the crowd, but you stand out in relevance and in impact. And I said it also means to apply the fundamental laws of leadership to drive your business and your endeavor. Now, I did explain to you that the principles or laws of success are universal. It can be applied anywhere to anyone, and of course in whatever endeavor you might find yourself. So what I've been sharing and I'll be sharing today will help you so greatly in whatever it is that you do. At the last episode, I gave you one basic and fundamental secret, of becoming a business leader, which I call the foresight. You may want to go back to that broadcast on Facebook, on YouTube, maybe on MixLR, in case you miss that broadcast. Today, I'm discussing another principle or secret that would help you to become a business leader. And I have chosen to call it Know Your Cutting Edge, or recognize your cutting edge. And that's what I'll be discussing in the next couple of minutes. Know or recognize your cutting edge. Maybe I'll paraphrase it this way. Take advantage of your advantage. Take advantage of your advantage. So let's discuss this very quickly. I'm very excited today. I'm sure you are, because we are going to learn something that will blow your mind, and of course that will empower you to achieve the highest level of success in your life and business. Now, what is your cutting edge? You may also want to call that your competitive advantage. And that's why I said take advantage of your advantage. So what is your cutting edge, or what is your competitive advantage? Let me begin by saying today that there is competition in life and business. There is competition in life and business. If you are not ready for competition, you had better not enter into business. Of course, if you are not ready for competition, you had rather exit this life or this world. I'm sure you must have been taught before now that you are a product of a competition. There were several spermatozoa in the reproductory tract or system of your mother, alright, while the egg of your mother, alright, receives the sperm, alright, from your father. There are billions of spermatozoa, all of them striving to fertilize the egg, Then we're told that only one of them survived and was able to fertilize the egg that made you what you are today. So you are a product of competition. There were billions of spermatozoa that were competing for leadership, competing for prominence, albeit one of them, which has to be you, or which was you, all right, eventually made it. And that is why you are here today. So you must harm yourself with this mindset that life is competition. Business is competition. Now, if you have a church mind, you may want to say, what is Pastor Demola saying? We were told not to compete with anybody. Yes, I am also telling you don't compete with anybody, but the way not to compete with anybody is to recognize your competitive advantage. Because I've seen people who have this mindset that I don't like competing with people, I don't like doing this one. Whether you like to compete with people or not, you are already in a competition. The earlier you realize that, the better. And the earlier you took advantage or you take advantage of your competitive leverage of advantage, the better. So why do I say life is competition or business is competition? I am saying that because you will not be the only one in business. So I dare say to you today, don't be discouraged because there are so many people doing the same thing you are doing. Because that is what life is about. Have you noticed that once you start a particular kind of business, before you know it, other people will want to do the same business? Does it mean you should pack your own loads and go back home or close shop? No. And that's why I'm bringing this discussion to you today. How to become a business leader. Recognizing that life and business is about competition. But most importantly, you must recognize your own competitive advantage. You know what that quickly tells us is the fact that life or business is a competition does not mean that you would fail or that you should fail. God will always give you an advantage. It is now left for you to learn how to take advantage of your advantage so that you will not be swamped in the competition of life, rather like an inflated balloon. It doesn't matter how competition wants to force you down the waters of life, you keep rising and rising and rising because you have realized or recognized your competitive advantage. So when I say life or business is a competition, don't get me wrong, like I said, I am not saying you should go out there trying to outsmart other people or trying to measure yourself with other people and trying to outdo them. But I'm just saying without you even wanting to outdo anybody, the business space is so large and wide that there are so many players wanting to gain prominence. So the way to compete, I say again, in the business or in life is to recognize your competitive advantage. So what does that mean? It means that if you don't understand the advantage you have, there is no way you will have the upper hand or an edge in the competition of life. So I've called that again, like I said, the cutting edge. The cutting edge in life and business is what stands you out. Everybody is into fashion designing. But what is that thing that stands you out in the business of fashion? Everybody is into business of public speaking. But what is it that stands you out in that business? Everybody is into event management business. What is it that stands you out? What is it that makes you different from others? Everybody is into the church business, quote and unquote. What is it as a pastor that stands you out, all right, from the pack of several pastors in your city or in your country? You won't say because there are churches in your environment, that is why your church is not growing, or that is why you want to close your ministry. No. Everybody has a cutting edge. You won't say because in your street there are so many fashion designers, so that is why your fashion designing business is not growing. No, you need to recognize the cutting edge, your own cutting edge, your own competitive advantage, and begin to leverage such. And once you do that, you will discover that you would succeed, or you become a better or a business leader. So I want to teach you 4 things to understand as far as this competitive advantage or cutting edge is concerned. Number 1 is to know your cutting edge. What is that thing that stands you out? You are not like every other person. I know you might be doing the same business with them. You might be attending the same campus, the same school with them. You might be working in the same office with them, pastoring the same city with them. But the truth of the matter is you are not them and you are not like them. Because sometimes we are quick to jump into the business space without sitting by ourselves to really ask this critical question: who am I? What is my business about? Why and how am I different from other people? If you are able to answer that question accurately, you are on the road to developing or to maximizing your cutting edge. Who am I? When customers or clients come to do business with you, what will they see in and with your business that will make them prefer you above other businesses? What is it you are going to respond or answer them when they ask some specific questions regarding your business that will make them know that you are not like others? So this first key I want to share with you will require that you sit down with yourself. Don't be in a hurry to be submerged in the everyday or day-to-day activities of the business life. Sit down and ask yourself, who am I? What is my business about? What distinguishes us from other people? If you have employees or staff or partners you are working with, you have got to sit them down to really consider these questions together. Because it is your understanding of your uniqueness that is the beginning of your advantage. It is your understanding of your uniqueness that is the beginning of your advantage in life and business. So that's the first thing I want to say very quickly. You need to know your cutting edge. What differentiates? Every church has their cutting edge. Their some cutting edge of some churches is worship, praise. What is it that they do maybe better than others, or they have a strength in? What is it that the people talk about as far as that church is concerned? If anybody is to talk about your church, maybe, or your business to somebody, what is that thing they will say about you that is different from what they are saying about other people? That is your cutting edge. So that's number 1. Know your cutting edge. Number 2 is to hone your cutting edge. Your cutting edge must not be abstract to you. It must be real. You must own it. I don't know how better to say it, but I'm saying, when I say know your cutting edge, you know it, but beyond knowing it, you must own it. It must be clear to you. It must be real to you. You must own it. All right. That your whole self or being is in it. You own it. You are sure about it. Because it is your ownership, the ownership of your cutting edge, that will make you to not fidget when other businesses seem to be flying around you. That somebody opens another a shop or a business space just beside you, doing the same business, you won't be perturbed because you have come to hone your cutting edge. You have come to hone it. It has become real to you than any other thing. It has become real to you. It has become so much a part of you that it defines whatever it is you do on a daily basis. Number 3, because of my time, you need to sharpen your cutting edge. Number 1, I said, know your cutting edge. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, why? What is it that makes me different from other people in this same business we are all doing? Number 2, hone it. Take ownership of it. Let it be real to you. Number 3 is to sharpen your cutting edge. Because we call it cutting edge. It's an edge that cuts, if I may use that explanation. And the sharpness of that edge will determine the impact it will make. Because your cutting edge needs to be constantly sharpened if you will stand out in the business space or maybe in life generally. And that reminds me of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 10. It said, if the iron is blunt and one does not sharpen it, it will have to apply more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. What are you doing about your cutting edge? If, for instance, your cutting edge is excellent service delivery, the way you treat customer, the way you make them feel welcome or feel at home, what are you doing to do it better or to get better at it? Sharpen it. To sharpen your cutting edge, you have got to go for more training. You have got to keep doing it, immerse yourself in it, and don't forget that your cutting edge will not remain sharp unless you do something about it. Some people start businesses or some business with excellent service delivery, but as the year rolls by, they begin to wane in their commitment. All right, they begin to wane in their commitment to that value because nobody is sharpening it. They left it the way it is. So don't leave your cutting edge unsharpened. Sharpen it on a daily basis if possible. Go for trainings. All right. Do more of it. Explore other dimensions of that cutting edge and ensure you keep doing it better. Because cutting edge becomes that point in your business that everybody knows you for and everybody comes to your business for because they know they will meet you just as they were told. And the last but not the least, as I wrap up in this episode of Leaders Arise, is to deploy your cutting edge. Deploy it. Number 1, I said know it. Number 2, own it. Number 3, develop or sharpen it. Number 4, deploy it. What do I mean? Once you have known your cutting edge, once you have honed your cutting edge, once you are sharpening your cutting edge, then don't waste time. Deploy it. Yeah, deploy it. Release it. Release it. Stop complaining that things are not working. Just keep pushing. That's your own advantage. Keep pushing it. Stop complaining that everybody has taken all the money in town. Who told you? Your money is still in town. I'm telling you. Your clients are still in town. I tell you. As a pastor, your members are still in town. I tell you. You need to deploy your cutting edge. You need to push your cutting edge. You need to push for it. Push it. Don't go and sleep. Push it. This is who we are. Do everything possible to deploy it. All right? To push it, to manifest it, to act it. And never be silent. Let everybody know this is what stands you out and you want to push for success in that area of your core competence. I hope today's episode of Leaders Arise has so much blessed you as it has blessed me also. Remember, we are talking about becoming a business leader part 2. I've shared with you the secrets of knowing and deploying your cutting edge or your competitive advantage. I encourage you to go over this broadcast again so that you can really get what we are trying to say. In case you have questions, comments, or feedbacks, don't hesitate to get across to us on our social media contact being displayed on the screen. Take advantage of the myriad of resources being advertised right now on our website. Then, of course, like and follow this page or subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done that. Help me share this stream across all your platforms. And of course, watch out for another inspiring episode when next we come online. Thank you for your time with me today, and God bless you.